All right,
You
people.
already know what it is. Live, uncut, unedited. You already know what it is. Live, uncut, unedited.
All
You
right,
already
people.
know what it is.
Y'all know what time
Live,
it is.
uncut, unedited. You already know what it is.
Come on in. Sorry
Live.
about being late. Sorry about being late, but I had to set the equipment up, and it takes a minute to get it right. You got to test it. Then the backdrop. I had to hook the camera up, the lights. Hour late, but it's going to be a great, interesting topic, and hopefully we can get some from it. I'm going to play the audio. Not going to show the video. It's so sickening and sad. A lot of you guys have seen it, and you have children mimicking adults. That's what we have. This is sick, people. It's sick. It's sickening. And it's just not happening in the black community. It's all communities. Trust me. All communities. We seen one little baby in Pampers. Another one, he couldn't have been no more than 4 or 5 or something like that. Tall. He was only mimicking what he's seen, what he have seen. So I'm not mad at the children. They are not in fault. They are innocent. They truly are innocent, people. What's going on, everybody? Beverly Williams, Miss Harris, Lester, what's going on? Nene, Joe, what's going on? Hey, Marcus, you said you ain't wasting no time getting in there. You gonna get it in,
Hi.
huh? I said you ain't wasting no time, huh?
Nope.
Let's get it on. Hey, Cynthia Manuel, let me holler out a few names. And Peggy, what's going on? Taya, what video? If you haven't seen the video, actually the video is like probably like maybe a minute or so. You can go look at it. Just exit out of live and go come back and look at it. All right. Steven, what's going on? AB, MB, AMBR, what's going on? All right, people, we're finna get started. All right, let me just, before you get started, Brother Marcus, and I'm going to
Yes,
have you
sir.
on by yourself. I don't want to bring on a lot of people because I don't want to get, and we're going to stay on the topic.
All right.
First thing I want to say to you, the children are not at fault. That's all I want to say. They're not in fault. They're totally innocent in this. And I'm going to give you my point, but I'm going to let you talk. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
Okay. I agree with you. The children are not at all at fault. They're only repeating what they've heard. We've all done it as kids when we were away from our parents. It is the job of the parent to watch what they say around their children, watch what they do around their children, because their children are like, how should I put it? This is going to sound stupid, but they're like miniature video cameras. They're recording your every move. You're the first role model they see. Not the teacher, not the basketball player, not the police officer, the preacher, but the parent. And parents, you need to watch what you do around your children, because this cycle of violence that we see in our community and across this nation is becoming a culture. It has become a culture. And that's a sad situation.
Let me say this, Marcus, to add on to what you said. I agree with Marcus. Parents, now, as I used to say, now the babies may be asleep. The babies know when you're sneaking somebody in that house. You think they sleep. They know. Trust me. They might never see the person who's coming inside the house, going inside your room, but they know. They smarter than you think they are. Now, Marcus, I could be wrong. They said, I believe the first 7 years is when the child intake, they takes everything in like a sponge. I believe it's the first 7 years or something like
Man,
that.
today, I think these kids do it quicker than any 7 years. These babies are smart. Even the animals are smart than what the past ones was. Okay, I guess God said I gotta make them smarter because the ones down there acting stupid. And I'm not calling nobody stupid. I'm just
Right.
adding a little humor to it. But watch what you say around your kids. Watch
Right.
what you do.
That's
Because if
right.
you gang banging around your 3-year-old, guess what? That 3-year-old is watching, and some of them are teaching them how to do it. That's the sad part about it.
And you know what hurts me, Marcus, when I see little children with the head to the side, you know, their pants sagging, they making them little thugs already. Earrings in their ear, you know. I'm still on the topic, people. This is where we are bringing our children up in this type of culture, people.
Well,
And
you got parents that say, I didn't mean to cut you short,
go
but
ahead.
you got parents, because I've been around a lot of young parents, they don't want their son to grow up to be no B.
Mm-hmm. Well, listen, let me just say this, and I know it's late, people. We're going to talk and we're going to stay on the subject. Again, the children, they are innocent in this. But that young boy, young little boy, he only mimicked what he seen. I'm telling you, people, you see him here aggressive, he's hitting the police and all that. Man, you can't, you know, I was speechless when I seen the video. I was speechless. But I want to, I want to play it, but I'm not going to do it. It's just so much profanity. We're not going to play it. Listen, Marcus, what are some of your solutions that you think as parents they can do? Well, I'm a parent. I don't think you're a parent, but what are some of the solutions? What you recommend?
Well, okay, I'm not a parent, but
Okay.
I've dealt with people, kids, and I will say this, be a parent. The solution is quit trying to be your child's friend. Be a parent. God gave you a gift. Nurture that gift. Guide them in the right direction. You don't want that little boy is going to grow up, and you know what? He might be in a box before he turned 15 because he's already showing you that. Now, the solution, be a parent. These young people need to quit having kids if they're not ready to take on the responsibility of being a parent. It's more than just going, working 9 to 5 and providing. You got to teach these kids. And if you don't know how to teach them, don't have them. And if you need help, go to some Planned Parent or family organization, and they will help you to be a better parent. My only solution to all of this is our people need to get back to God too. And I know that sounds crazy, but take your kids to church, get them involved in church, and get back to God.
And you know, a lot of people say they haven't seen the video. The video I clicked the link on. You can click on the link. It's on there. It's real short. Or you can go to my page, exit out of the live, and go to and look and come back. You're welcome to come back. No problem. I mean, it's so sad. You see one little baby in Pampers, and one looked like he was in his drawers, his underwear. I don't even think they was swim trunks or anything. And he was serious. He was hitting the AT officers. That didn't happen in Chicago. It happened, I believe, what did I say that happened at? I forgot exactly what I said it happened at. What did I say? It'll come to my mind. It didn't happen in Chicago, but it's happening all over the world, people. Listen, look at the video, and then you guys can come back. It's so embarrassing, and I don't want, you know, we have a lot of parents. Now, I understand that parents are grown, and they can do whatever they want to do, but for goodness sake, yeah, Minnesota, that's correct.
Kids.
Yeah. Watch what you say around your children. They just, I mean, that boy was cussing like he was a grown man. Swinging. Like, I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it. I'm going to play a little audio. Marcus, I don't know if it's going to let me play while you're on the phone. Just hold on.
Okay.
Hold on. It might let me play it while you're on the audio. Hold on. Let me see. It's crazy, people. All right, let me find it. And I'm going to play it. This is live, uncut, unedited, people.
It's very disturbing.
Very disturbing. Listen up. Let's see if we can get it. Listen, people. Now this is a little young boy that's doing this. you hearing all this swearing, and there's other little teenagers around signifying too as well. And this is type of behavior that we're dealing with in our culture, as Marcus said. He's punching the police, he's hitting the police. And people, this is crazy. And I'm going to tell you, children only repeating what they see adults do and say. Trust me.
It's scary.
Some of you guys, you are confusing your children. You bringing this man in and that man in and this man and that man in, or this woman and that woman. That's a no-no. That's a no-no, parents. No. I'm a grandparent. I'm a father. I know certain things you cannot do in front or say in front of your children. Swearing, cursing. They're going to pick that right up. Now, here's a young boy. He couldn't be no more than 4 or 5, Marcus. Now, by the time he get 10 or 12 years old, you know, somebody cuss him out, and now they're going to hurt his feelings. He's not even going to be insulted because that's the type of language that he's used to.
He going to be out of control. You see what those kids did to that elderly man in Philadelphia. He's going to be totally out of control. And you can't blame the mayor. You can't blame the president, the preachers, the teachers, or the police officers. Blame the parents for bringing him up that way, for allowing him to grow up that way. Because when I came up, and I know the world was different, but I bring it back because maybe we need to get back to that. When I came up, when adults were talking, you were asked to get out the room, go outside, go play with your friends. And if you didn't, you got the belt took to you. If you repeated what the adult said and you got caught, you got your butt whooped. But today, well, the government is in the child rearing business, and look at what's happening. You can't whoop your kids.
Well, you can't leave a marker. You can discipline them, but that, you know, it's crazy. Let me just say this, parents. And when I say parents, I'm talking to both parents, not just the mothers, the fathers as well. We have to do better. We have to watch what we say. We have to lead by example. Some of us, like me, I grew up dirt poor. I'm not rich now either, but we had to do what we had to do to survive. You know, if that's to rob, to steal, whatever, we had to do what we had to do. And not making it right either, not justifying it, not justifying it. But I remember coming up, I was a paper boy. We had to build bikes. I had, what else? I carried people groceries to their houses, went to the grocery store. I did whatever I had to do, sweep, mop, whatever, just to have a few pennies in my pocket. Keep me from stealing and robbing and things like that. But parents, this is shame. This is shame. All this profanity we use in front of our little ones, and they're repeating everything that we say. And I want to say this too, Marcus. The first thing that came to my mind when watching this video, I thought about the school teachers and what they go through. And a lot of school teachers tell parents what your child is doing, and you want to beat up the school teacher for telling you how bad your child and disrespectful your child is. And they go for the girls too, because the girls are just as disrespectful as the boys. Period.
Martin, can I say this?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
And when the school released them, I used to work for the Chicago Park District. We got the worst of the worst. And we had to deal with the parent. And they come from all type of households. It ain't just the folks, the poor parents. It's the middle class, well-to-do parents too. Them the worst ones.
Hold on, Marcus. The brother said, Andre Sessions said, what service y'all offering besides the same old lip service? Brother, listen, the power of life and death is in the tongue, brother. You teach by speaking and by leading example. So won't you call in, Andre, and let me hear what you got to say. I want you to come on, call in. See, Marcus, we grew up in this. We know the power of life and death is in the tongue. You just can't sit down and don't say nothing. You have to speak to situations and circumstances.
God spoke us into an existence, didn't he?
That's right. That's right.
And you had to speak positive. These kids are not seeing positive. Another thing came to mind with me, Martin, when I saw the video, is these parents sit up there with their kids and they play this drill music. that's teaching them how to curse. Now, when we was coming up, we didn't have that kind of music, but it was music out there. But our parents knew what it meant, but we didn't quite know what it meant. They'd be like, "You better get up out this room. You don't know that's before you. You know, you're too young for that."
Yeah.
These parents are not sitting down with their kids explaining to them what they're listening to and where it's gonna take them.
Well, the parents think it's cute too because they listen to that type of music. You have a lot of adults that listen to drill music and they play it in the
they love
cars. They play it in when they
around the
drive along.
kids.
Yeah.
Smoking weed around them, dropping them off of school, dropping them off of camp. I used to see it all at the Park District. So we're not just offering lip service. We're trying to bring awareness and attention because this is an embarrassment to the entire black community. We can look at it. That's the future. That's scary.
That's right.
That's just as scary as me seeing a group of 5 all the way up to 14-year-old boys standing on a corner being led by this one boy. That's your future.
Okay.
That's tomorrow.
Hold on, Marcus. The call-in number is 872-297-6389. Again, 872-297-6389. That's the call-in number, people. Call-in number. Go ahead, brother.
There are programs out here to help these parents. They don't want to go to them. They're out here. Take advantage of them. The Park District offers them. The school that your child go to offers them. Be involved in your child's schooling because the teachers will do them any kind of way if the parent is not involved.
Right. And let me just say this too. And for any black man that's on here that is not involved in your son or your daughter's life, I suggest you to be quiet. Trust me. And I'm saying if you are available to do it. Now you have some parents, some moms don't want you to have anything to do with your son or your daughter. But if the option is there for you to spend time with your son or your daughter and you're not doing it, you shouldn't be saying nothing on this live at all. You shouldn't be saying nothing at all. Trust me. How you think people solve problems? By asking questions. That's how you solve problems. Ask questions. When you go to the doctor, he asks you what's hurting, what's wrong, what you feel, so he can diagnose the problem. And that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. As parents, we have to do better. We have to always say, this is what I always say, and a lot of you guys that follow me, you know, instead of buying your sons and daughters everything that you didn't have when you was growing up, you need to teach them everything that you didn't know. That's what you need to do while you was growing up. And I guarantee you, when you arm your children with the necessary information, I got a caller. Hold on. All right, caller, where you calling from?
I'm calling from Joliet, Illinois.
Okay, hold on, caller. Let me merge you. Okay, Mr. Marcus, we got a caller online, and she's calling from Joliet. I want you to hear her. Come on, Joliet. Let's hear it.
Hello, Martin. How you doing? God
Yes.
bless you. I love this topic. I minister to a lot of children myself everywhere, not just Illinois. But what I'm seeing is from the time that we grew up, you don't see a community that's helping these. It takes a village to raise a child. I know when I was coming up, you had your neighbors looking after your children while you were at work. Today, you don't have that. You don't have that.
Okay, I'm here.
You don't have that. Even in the school, I heard the gentleman talk about the park districts. I see it's not just the black community. It's not just po-po.
I said that.
I've even been in these judicial systems with you. You got rich white folks. You got middle class. You got po folks. It's all of them. And if you don't train these children up in God, they out there in the world. So what are you gonna expect? If you got worldly parents, you're gonna have worldly children.
Mm-hmm.
Worldly parents is going to raise up worldly children. So they need God.
Well, the parents need God first. Anything, because
That's
they're the one.
correct. That is
Yeah.
so correct. That is so correct. But you're listening to a young woman who I see a lot of children that parents that don't have God. It's a choice that you have to make. And if you have somebody godly in your life, that child will come up and be somebody and know God.
Mm-hmm. Hold on.
Because you can have saved folks and you can have ungodly children. I've seen that. Preachers' kids be out there on the street doing some of everything.
Mm-hmm. You're right.
So you got to have a mate. If you are an adult out there, I've been in the city of Chicago on the CTA, on the buses, and seen children and tell them, "Excuse me, son, can you you know you a king? Can you straighten up your hat and pull up your pants?" I don't hear that from people outside.
Well, let me
They
ask
gonna
you,
walk right past.
well, let
them.
me ask you a question, ma'am. Let me ask you a question. Do you have any? I need you to turn down your radio because I still hear echo back. I don't know if your Facebook turned down, but I hear it. Let me ask you a question. What are some of the solutions that you can think of that as parents, and I know you're a parent, I'm a grandparent, that we can do to avoid situations like this where we've witnessed with this video?
I have a 15-year-old grandchild who has my daughter had some problems with, who had to recently come and live with me. I sat her down and I told her some principles. I told her what you ain't gonna do and what you are going to do. See, when you sat down the rules, they'll learn how to respect the rules outside.
Amen.
I agree with that.
That's what we gotta get back to. A lot of people say, "Oh well, the child gonna tell you I'll be back," and they ain't gonna give you a time to come back.
Mm-hmm.
So they ruling. And when it comes to the police system, when we was coming up, you wouldn't even want to try to open up your mouth or even look at a phone talking about calling the police.
Okay. Well, let me ask you a question. Let me just say something, and I'm just speaking on behalf of other generations. They don't like when we say it wasn't that way when we was coming up. They don't like that. This is the excuse that they say. Well, we live in a different day and time, which they are correct, so we cannot compare our generation with theirs.
Okay, can I say this,
Go
Martin?
ahead, sister. Go ahead.
What I tell the youth, and I go to a lot of these judicial systems to save some of these children that's down there. They done got themselves in trouble, and I tell them, what is the first principle? Obey your parents.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2, when you get out there, you got to obey your elders. I don't care who it is. That's an elder. And then number 3, I have to ask that child a question. What year you was born in? Because it look like I got 20 years ahead of you. Because when you get out there and think you know it all, you're going to have to come right back to who? You're going to go right back to mama, bail you out. Right back to daddy, bail you out.
Well,
You're going to go to somebody, even if you ain't got parents. You got to go to somebody. You got to answer to somebody.
yeah, I agree. You have to answer to somebody. Well, let me just say this. Brother Marcus said earlier that we need to go to church. Some people don't believe in church. So what
Let
we
me
say
tell you
about
this.
that?
Church starts at home. The way I grew up, that starts at home. I tell the way I minister to people, you can get to church and your mind ain't even on God. You could be a pastor. I'm old enough to say it because I know who I am in God. You got preachers out here that ain't even living holy and living godly. So what is that? Yes, we're supposed to go to church, but it starts at home. It's a lifestyle. This ain't something that we just, because it's Sunday, something we got to do because it's Sunday and Monday and Tuesday. No, this is a lifestyle that you got to live. Everybody can't go to church. They got to go to work so they can provide for their house.
Well,
It's in the Bible. If you don't work, you don't eat.
go ahead, Marcus. Go ahead.
That's for some of them people out there that go to work
Ma'am.
and they say,
Can I
"Oh, I'm in
respond?
church."
Ma'am, hold on, Marcus. Hold on for a second. Let me just take this call, Oklahoma. Then I'm gonna let you talk, Marcus. All right, buddy. Hold on. I got one before you. Okay.
No problem. No
All right.
problem.
All right. All right, brother Marcus. Go ahead and say something, Marcus.
Okay. So let me clean up what I said a little bit.
Okay, go ahead.
You learn about God at home, which she's right. You learn about God at home. But we also make our kids get up and go to school. They don't have an option. You either going to school or I'm going to take you to school, right? But when it comes to Sunday morning, and I'm a minister myself, when it comes to Sunday morning, church is an option. Now, I'm not saying the church is going to change your child. You learn God at home. That's how I learned about God. I didn't know nothing. I didn't come here knowing God. I had to be taught about God. I was taught how to read the Bible at home. Everything, before I even got to school, I knew how to read before I got to school because my parents, who were from the dirt part of Mississippi, believed in education and taught me, my cousins, we grew up in Inglewood, how to read and write. So by the time we got to school, we was ahead of the class. It is the parent. It goes back to the parent. The parent needs to teach their children about God, but then they don't know about God. So this is where the church come in. The church has to do better than what it's doing.
Okay, but what about the folks that don't believe in church? That's what I'm trying to tell y'all.
They have to believe. They
Believe
have to
what?
believe. If they don't believe, I mean, I don't know what to say. I mean,
I'm asking a question. This is a valid question, brother Marcus. Okay, hold on, y'all. My brother from Oklahoma. Come on, say something, brother. Be holding on patient.
I'm listening to all the guests on tonight, and what he's saying too is my parents taught me about God. Okay, so it's our decision once we get out in the world as young adults. What route are we going to take? You see what I'm saying? So if you're taught about God and your parents is living godly in the household, that's going to reflect on the child. But if the child, if you worldly and you doing these things, the kids are going to reflect on that as well. You see what I'm saying? So you have to be godly.
Okay, brother.
You have to.
Let me just say this, brother. What I'm asking you the same question I asked Brother Marcus. What if they don't go to church? The family, their parents don't believe in church. So what's the solution to that?
That's the purpose, not just to fall on the pastor. That's why I do my ministry. I share my testimonies. I don't have to.
No, I'm listen. Hold on, brother.
But
I'm not. I'm just saying. I'm for those that don't have no biblical teaching and raised up in the Word of God and taught about Jesus. Now they're human too. So
that's what the church is for. That's what the
brother,
people who
listen,
follow Christ.
Brother, everybody's not going to go to church. Everybody's not going to go to the mosque. Some people are not going to step foot in church until they're probably dead and gone. So what are we going to do about those who,
you know? That's what I'm saying. Ministry. Well, Mark, you carrying ministry to the world. You may see somebody
that's want to do better.
Less fortunate. That's your testimony you can give them. Well, you can hold a decent conversation. Man, you know what? Man, it's nice today, or your car is nice, or your shoes is nice, or it may be somebody that's less fortunate. So you may see that person every day. You know what? God will put that upon my heart. You know what? This guy's out here every day. I'm going to take him a water. I'm going to take him a sandwich. I'm going to buy him something. And you can talk and gradually get into the word, you know, asking them, do you have a relationship with God? Do you believe in God? You see what I'm saying? Not just coming right quoting scriptures at them. No, I'm not speaking of that. But I'm saying that's what the disciples did.
Well,
Jesus told them to go out and minister.
Let me just say this, y'all. Let me just say this. Let me just say this. Let me just say this. I see where y'all going, but some people ain't having. They don't want no parts of church. You have some parents don't want no part of it. All I can say to anybody that believe in God, Jesus Christ, or whatever, you got to be a living example of what you believe in.
I
You
just
can't.
said that.
I know it. I'm just saying you can't be out here smoking dope,
Right,
laying with this man and this woman with that
right,
woman, and trying to be an example. Tell somebody about God, and they looking at you like you crazy. Really,
right,
really. We,
right.
we can't we can't do. Listen, this old little song that we used to sing. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine.
You gotta let it
You ought,
shine.
that means they ought to see God in you.
That's it.
Right,
That's it. And
right.
They ought to see
sometime,
God in you,
sometime,
and that will
but
make them want to change.
sometime
Let
by
your
not
light
open up
shine.
your mouth, just living that life.
Right.
That's
Let
what
your
it
light
is.
shine,
So,
Mark.
And accept this, Martin. People think that people who go to church are supposed to live a perfect life. You don't live. We're born a human, and ain't none of us perfect. The church is I know this is a different topic, but it's a house full of sinners. We're all sinners. So we put our, just like the police officer, we put our faith in these police officers. We expect them to behave a certain way, and we forget that they are people. Ministers, people who go to church are people too, and they're not exempt from the devil's attack.
You preaching, and I say that all the time because I'm not perfect, Martin. I mean, I'll make a mistake, but that's by me studying God's word every day and applying it and proving to God, God, you have to work with me. I have to minister to myself first before I can minister to others. You see what I'm saying?
well,
So if
let let's get
I'm
back. Let's rear back onto the with the little boy.
right, and
Yeah.
it's the same for these like I'm going with what y'all was saying. You know, if you and the brother was just speaking, he said he had seen it that you know, you hear parents in the car listening to all type of music, smoking weed, dropping the kids off at school, all this. So they see this. So this is what they're gonna be. They're gonna come up doing that. They don't necessarily don't have to, but look at the household.
That's
Well,
all they know.
yeah, that's all they know. I mean, that little boy that was swearing like that, hitting the officer. I believe he was an AT, alcohol, firearm, and tobacco, hitting that officer. And I'm saying in my mind, man, this is gonna be tragic. If this behavior is not corrected, it's going to be tragic for the little young man. It's going to be tragic. Tragic. But let me just say this. I didn't have this show to demonize little children. I believe those little boys, that little boy, that little girl, the little ones that really didn't know, they don't know no better. I fought their parents. I fought their parents. It's just poor upbringing. People, we having babies having babies. And we living
And
in
Martin,
dead. Go ahead.
they're not having babies out of love anymore. I mean, let's be honest. They having babies because they like the way somebody look. They want to keep that person. Some of these women want to trap these guys with them, and the guys still walk away from the responsibility. You got to be careful who you have sex with. That's all I got to say.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Do they think like we may have thought? I said it would have drove me crazy having a baby in grammar school or high school, man. I was 22 when my son was born, and I still was a baby. I was over 21, but it kind of got to me. But I had to be ready for fatherhood.
right.
You see what I'm saying? But
And
they just having them
let me just say
just
this
to be
too.
having them.
For those parents that's on this live feed, and you know if you're guilty or not of this, change your behavior. Trust me, change your behavior. And like the sister said earlier, and I said earlier, this is not the only race that's encountered this problem. Trust me, it's many other races, nationalities that's having the same problem. So ours just highlighted in the media. But trust me, I've seen little white kids cuss out everybody. Everybody, mean and devilish and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to throw that
I'll
out
never
there.
forget Ford City. Them white kids would cuss their parents out in a minute.
Fall out in the store.
And hit them.
Yeah.
You know, they were more violent than black children. But the problem is
Man.
the magnifying glass is put on us.
Mhm.
And my question is, we saw the video. Who was doing the recording? Was it the police?
No, I believe it was the little boys, the little teenage boys. But hold on, Marcus.
could-
Let me say this.
Mm.
Lisa Campbell said the church is not responsible to raise your kids. It's the parents' responsibility.
Somewhat true.
Well, explain
It's
to me.
mainly the parents' responsibility.
Yeah, it is the parents at the end of the day.
Ain't no somewhat true. It's true. It is the parents' responsibility. Because the
We
people in
already
church
know,
got their
right?
own kids to raise.
Right.
Hey, I want Andre Session to come on. He got a lot to say. I want him to come on and call in since he got all the solutions. If you sitting on the solutions, I need to know. I need to hear it. Hold on, y'all. Live uncut, unedited. Where you calling from, caller?
Calling from Lansing, Michigan.
Okay, hold on. Brother Andre, won't you call in? I hope it didn't hang up, did it? Hold on, people. I didn't hang up on nobody. It hung up. Y'all got to call back. Okay. I'm sorry. I don't know what happened. It hung up. Hold on, sister. Hold on a minute. Andre, won't you call in, Andre? Since you got all the solutions. I mean, I see you in the messenger box and you're talking good game. Come on, give us some solutions. If you got a program, let's hear about your program. I want to know about your program. Hold on. Hold on.
Okay.
All right, my dear sister from Lansing, Michigan, what do you have to say? Hold on, sister. Andre, I don't want to hear about no flyer. Call in and tell us. Call and tell us what's on the flyer. I want to hear from you. Tell us. See, these people, y'all get on this live feed, say what we ain't doing, and always point the finger. Come on here and give us some solutions. If you got the medicine to our sickness, I want to hear from it. Hold on, guys. Hold on, brother. If you got the solution to our problem, I want to hear it. I want to know it. Don't be selfish. Don't keep it to yourself. All right, I want to hear from my sister from Lansing, Michigan. Go ahead, my sister.
Hi, Martin. This is Roslyn.
Hey, how you doing, Rosalind?
And I'm okay. And I was watching that, and it was pretty sad. But I think that the kids, I don't know, I guess they're in the wrong environment or something. If we can have someone who can coach kids and show them love, you know what I mean?
Ma'am, you kind of like mumbling, babe. You're mumbling. So I don't know.
Can you hear me better?
Much better. Go ahead.
Oh. I said if we have someone, well, I'm not in Chicago, but if we have someone who could, like, talk to the kids and show them love, let them know this is not right, you shouldn't be doing that, it probably would be better. Other than just, it do talk on the parents, too.
Sister,
So.
we have some parents, young and old, don't want you saying anything to their children.
And that's true.
They don't want you to say
true.
anything. Right. So my thing is, anybody got any solutions or answers, come on with it. Both my brothers on here, they talk about God. Then I said, well, what about the people that don't believe in God? So we need solutions, people. We definitely need solutions,
And you're right. And sometimes God would drive people away. I was one of them people. Because God is a spirit. Everybody believes in what they want to believe in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you can't keep driving that up.
Brother Andre, hold on, sister. Brother Andre, you say you tired of talking. Just come on, call on here, brother. You talking about your flyer. Your flyer is language. Tell us about your flyer. We don't know who you are. We don't know what work you do. You may have the answer to what we need tonight. But you're selfish. You don't want to come on here and talk about it. Come on, brother. I invite you on here. That's why we're here. Talking about some flyer. What about the people that can't read or don't know where your flyer, how to get in contact with your flyer? So give us some solutions. Come on, sister. I'm sorry.
And you're right. If it was something that we could do to help the kids, like when the parents are at work, maybe kids around their age, maybe they're hanging around too many adults.
Yeah.
Maybe they need to be around people their age. You know what I mean?
Listen, we are here in the city of Chicago, and Marcus could witness it. I haven't been on the red line in a couple of years, but when I used to be on the red line, the bus, you hear all types of conversations amongst our youth. I mean,
Oh
adult
yeah.
conversations. Go ahead, Marcus. You can talk
Yep.
more about that.
Oh yeah. You know what? One of the conversations I remember hearing, two conversations. A group of girls was on the train. They were calling each other bees.
Mm-hmm.
And normally, a lot of adults don't intervene because look at what happened to the elderly man in Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm.
These kids will jump on you and they get away with it. So what I'm about to say, normally I wouldn't have intervened. But I got so sick of them calling themselves bees until I stood up and said to one of the girls, "Do you wag your tail?"
Right. Which one y'all barking?
She laughed and she was like, well, what the F is you talking about? I said, actually, I'm trying to get you to quit calling yourself a bee.
But they didn't know what it means. That's what it
Respect
is.
you.
Right.
You
They
get mad
think
when a
they're
little
cute.
boy call you a bee.
Yep, that's true. That's
They
true.
want to fight them, but you sitting up here calling yourselves bees. You're not bees.
That's
You're
true.
queens. You're beautiful young ladies.
I
Don't
must agree.
disrespect yourself like that. And so now they seen where I was coming from.
Mm-hmm.
Their attitude, they went off of the defensive attitude to the listening attitude.
Right.
They listened to me. Other people on that train was like, man, these kids will mess you up. You talk to the wrong ones. Well, we need to talk to them. We need to take that risk. We need to be a risk taker and take that risk. I know it's dangerous, but sometimes you got to move when God tells you to move. And at that moment, I got sick of them cussing each other out. I did it with the boys, too. I told one boy, I said, I know you know how to dress better than that. What are you talking about? I'm getting tired of looking at your drawers in my face on a crowded bus. No one wants to see that. Let me
It
show you
depends
how
on how
to
you talk to people, too.
Yeah,
It's a way to talk to people.
yes, it does. Yes,
You don't come in there and be their father because they're going to.
No.
You talk to them the what they call the nice way.
You talk to them with respect like you want to give it.
And they may disrespect you from the start, but once they realize what you're doing,
Right.
They're going to calm it down. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and you be the one to reach them. There is hope. There is hope for kids whose parents are not teaching them right. There is
And
still
Martin.
hope.
yes, I'm here.
Martin,
Oh,
I was-
hold on.
was
I got
raised in
another call.
Warren, Chicago.
Hold on. I got another caller, Mama Diva. All right, Mama Diva, hold on. All right, people. Hold on, sister. I want to hear from Mama Diva. Come on, talk to us, sister.
Hey, Mark, this Mother Diva.
I'm going to sit here and listen, and I'm finna enjoy what you got to say. So come on, I'm ready to hear from you.
Okay, let me say this, because we're always complaining, and I know that you've been looking for solutions.
Okay,
And
hold on
I-
before you get started? I need to hear you much clearer. I don't know if you're on a Bluetooth or something, cause it's like so kind of like.
Okay, wait a minute.
Okay, we'll wait on
Is
you.
this better?
Yeah, that's better. Go ahead.
Okay, so we do complain a lot, and we have to come up with solutions.
Thank you.
And that's what I'm about, coming up with solutions, working with some of our legislators to try to create programs. First of all, let me say this, because we have to go back to the beginning. And this is what I had posted in your feed. You see, the parents from birth with these children that's coming into the world now, they completely lost respect for their own babies. They curse the kids out. They treat them like crap. They feed them blue Kool-Aid and Cheetos. And see, one of the things that I wanted to say, that whole situation with us at McDonald's, but people miss the point with that. First of all, you should be arrested to feed your child McDonald's. It is processed garbage. This is why these children are acting a fool, and the adults too, because they're eating food that have poison, chemicals, paint thinner. People gonna be out here hollering and protesting. Ain't nobody protesting General Mills about putting paint thinner in the cereal. What about that? See, don't nobody want to talk about that. So this is one of the programs that I've been trying to work with the legislators, especially in Illinois. We need 24-hour community centers where parents and children can come and they can learn home economics. These parents are not even cooking proper food for their children. They're shopping at the gas station. See, that's the problem. And if we are not going to respect adults if they grew up with people cursing them out and calling them all kind of names and telling them they ain't nothing, and then they eat this crappy food. So when they become a teenager, now they turned into a carjacker and a serial killer, and then you're like, well, this generation is bad. It's not that they bad. They've been around bad, negative energy people. And Martin, they have to be reprogrammed. That's the problem. People want to talk about God. Let me tell you something about God. Jesus, Joshua walked around with men that had wood. You got to be able to live by faith and walk by faith and get up and make a move. You can't, Martin, I just lost 33 pounds. Do you think I prayed the fat away? I had to get off my fat ass and start moving. You got to take action.
That's right. Got to take
Well,
action.
nothing is going to change. We have to respect our children. People talk about the children don't respect us. You can respect them if they're coming out of the womb and you call them a bunch of niggas and no good and they ain't nothing. They're going to grow up to be that. Drug dealers and stripper poles. Because that's the way you treated them.
I agree with that.
You know what?
I agree.
You know what that reminds me of? I've seen some parents tell their child, shut the F up. And listen, I'm full grown. I don't want nobody to tell me that. My feelings be hurt. I can imagine a little person.
Me too.
What it do to a little person.
Pop them in the head.
Yeah, you know, just
Slap 'em.
that's
why
not
I say
cool.
It's all about respect. It's all about respect. It's how you talk to people.
If you
When you got a 6-month-old baby, you know, and you giving them blue Kool-Aid and Cheetos and all this kind of stuff, how you think they're gonna grow up with that garbage?
That's it. I agree with
You're just
you.
allowing these people. You're just allowing the powers that be to tell you what to do.
All that those nacho
Instead of being
cheese.
free and having your own mind. You see, Martha, we have to, let me tell you something. This is the difference. If you go back to when African people were brought to this country, there was a disconnect in the culture and the language. How many African American people today can speak Swahili? Their generation and their culture was lost. But now the people who came over here, the Italians and the Germans, they can still speak their language. You have very few people born in this country that are Italian or German descent that can't speak the language. Most of them can still speak the language because their culture was not lost. And why do you think African people, they have no respect for African Americans because they say that you don't know who you are, you're a lost tribe. Because they were brought here and they didn't keep up with it. And they feel like you should have thought it out. This is the thought process. We have to change our mentality. Because let me tell you something. These young people, they're going to end up dead or in prison. And jail does not rehabilitate nobody. If they come up with a boot camp program when these kids are carjacking or stealing, make them wash cars, make them clean up a junkyard. You know, whatever crime you commit, you spend the rest of your sentence doing that. That's your punishment. Because jail don't do nothing for nobody. You get 3 meals and a bed and a wall, and that's it. And a lot of times they get out and they repeat offenses.
That's because they've been in there so long, that's all they know. They won't really do something once they get out.
Exactly. But you try to put some of these programs in place that I'm trying to do, you know, and they try to give you a hard time. You know, they pump the community with alcohol and cigarettes. Well, why can't the alcohol companies and the cigarette companies build in the community?
As well as the pharmacy.
Exactly.
The healthcare is bad.
And then people want to talk about we have all this mental illness, you know, all this ADHD and all this. This just didn't happen. You go back to your grandparents and my grandparents and great grandparents. They had a garden. They had fresh fruits and vegetables. They would pick. Remember, we was kids. They would ask. We go down south. They'd ask us to pick beans. It's like pick beans. We're from Chicago. That's what they were doing down there. You don't have that no more. You have very few gardens in the community.
Because everything in America is imported from overseas. You ain't got no real food no more. It's being shipped from China, and China don't like us. So why would they ship us fresh food? What better way to destroy America is to destroy America through the food chain?
Yeah, that's true.
And we let them. We allow this kind of stuff to happen.
Well,
We're not reading our Constitution. We're not reading the Declaration of Independence. We're not. It specifically says in there that if we're not happy with our government, we have the right to overthrow it.
Mm-hmm.
Be careful now. Be careful with that one now. Trump tried that, and look what's going on now.
So that's how it is.
But I mean, that's the president. I'm talking about the people. We the people. It starts off. We the people.
That's right. We the people.
Yeah.
So let me.
I saw them little babies carrying on.
Hey, like they say, it take us to save us. That's for sure.
But you know what? This is another way. I know some people may not want to hear this, but you also have to take into consideration, Martin, that whatever we put into the universe, it comes back to haunt us.
Yes.
Now, if you look what happened in the 60s during the civil rights movement, you had the KKK and police officers, racist white police officers beating on black people, killing children, doing all this thing. Now the tables have turned. You got these young African American teenagers shooting, killing, beating up on white folks, and them little babies that was hitting on the police. What about all the white police officers that beat up on little children? It ain't nothing but what comes around goes around. I'm not saying what them babies did was right, but you have to look at the etymology of it.
Wow.
They're getting back what they dished out.
Yeah. Wow.
That's right.
Wow.
Baby, I was cracking up with them babies too.
But you know what? When I seen the video,
funny, them little babies.
yeah. But you know what? That little boy was serious too. But he's only reenacting what he's seen an adult do.
But
Trust
you know
me.
what? And guess what? Guess what? Them police officers didn't retaliate.
No.
They say out of the mouth of babes. 60 years ago, them little babies might have got shot or bit by a dog. Them police officers just stood there and let them babies hit on them. They didn't pull out no guns and do nothing.
They better not hit.
Well, you know what? If they had it wouldn't be no America right now. I can tell you that right now. That would have been the camel. That would have been the straw that broke the camel's back. All the way down.
But we also have to ask ourselves, what kind of world are we living in now where you got babies in diapers cursing at the police? All of that is built up. All of that is built up energy from generation to generation, and people are tired of this shit.
Yep. Let me say it like this: manufactured hatred. The police manufactured the hatred that's toward them, and now they're crying that they can't do their job. It's not that you can't do your job. Do your job right.
I agree.
And I mean, I have to say this, Margaret.
Go ahead,
know
sister.
How I feel. I know you want to cut it out because I know how you care about this person. But you know, when the police arrest the criminals, then you have somebody that's releasing them back out onto the street. That ain't gonna help either.
But let me ask you, Mama Diva, let me ask you a question. I always say that. It's in the...
Well, before you ask me that, Martin Kim Fox got to go. Now, I'm sorry that your friend, she got to go.
Okay, well, I don't know
Go
Kim
ahead.
personally. I don't know. Listen, I'm just saying it's a flawed system. This thing was happening before Kim Fox. Murderers and pimps and prostitutes and whatever. They was getting out of jail whatever administration they was under. So I could say that, but I'll say this.
Yes, but if
You can't,
if
listen.
you go and look at the numbers where we at now than we was maybe 5 or 10 years ago, in some ways it's gotten worse.
No, it just got
What's gotten
exposed.
better?
No,
What-
I wouldn't
what-
even. I'll
So
just
let
say
me
this.
say what's gotten better is that I am glad, to give to her credit, she did release a lot of wrongfully convicted people, and I appreciate that. In addition to the low offenders, the nonviolent offenders, they don't need to be in there. Jail should be for serious crime.
Mark,
But I understand that.
Go ahead,
Go
Marcus.
ahead, sir.
Go ahead, Marcus.
Kim Fox ain't the problem. A lot of people are looking at the fact that when the police hate, and I'm going to say it because I know it, the police hate all of this black power that's in Chicago right now. They love Mayor Daley because Daley was letting them do what the heck they wanted to do to black people. The police is not doing its job, and so crime is high, and it's making the state's attorney look bad, as well as the mayor, as well as the chief of police look bad. They all black. They want us to be afraid and not vote for these people back in office. They want to make white people afraid, saying that these black people can't control their city. When in actuality, the police is not doing their job. They're not charging these kids with the crimes they need to charge them with, because the dude that carjacked me got charged with a level 1 misdemeanor. He was out while I was doing the paperwork. And then the police lied and said I didn't want to pursue any additional charges. So I didn't blame Kim Fox. I'm blaming the Chicago Police Department for lying and not doing their job.
Well, in a court of
I'm going to vote for Kim Fox.
in a court of
So let me ask you a question. When this person that carjacked you, when they got arrested, isn't it the state's attorney's office that creates the charges?
If the police give them a different charge, how can she go to court? She has to make a decision. Is it worth going to court? Level 1 misdemeanor, trespassing. That's what they charged them with. Trespassing. I never gave nobody my keys.
well,
I never let nobody.
So what can you do to fight that case? What can you do? And what can we do to help?
I would have to get a lawyer. I know that.
Okay.
And
Well-
I would have to prove that the Chicago police put words in my mouth.
let me just say this.
Which I never signed anything.
Let me just say this. Chicago police have been told numerous times by the FOP president to hold back on crime, do stuff, call off and all that. So they work, they got a little clique going on with them too as well. So another word I want to say too is that in the court of law, not in the court of public opinion, you are innocent until proven guilty. You are that. So that's how it works,
Right.
people. Now, some crimes. Now, sister, if I get caught with a pistol illegally and get arrested, and I get out a day later and do a mass shooting, you can't blame that on Kim Fox, because they gave me a bail, I bonded out, but I did decide to go shoot up a whole lot of people. So things like that, I mean, it's been going on. And see, my thing is, the police is blaming Kim Fox.
But what did you get arrested for in the first place, Martin?
No.
What was
No.
your initial charge?
No. I'm just giving an example as example.
example.
So if I go to jail and get caught with an illegal handgun, and I bond out, the next day or the same day I go do a mass shooting, you can't blame that on Kim Fox. See, that's it. We have to remember that. See, a lot of us, those of us that's not in law, we judge people in the court of public opinion. The law don't works like that. It don't work like that.
Okay, so then now we got to change the law.
That's what I'm talking about. See, now,
if they get caught with a handgun, maybe they shouldn't get bail.
right, well, that's what you got to go to the legislators there for. So you can't blame Kim Fox.
That's what I'm saying.
You have to go to the legislators. That's why I want to bring, see, we
Well,
put,
Mark, I'm not going to say that everything in the world is her fault.
No.
You have to understand the
Right, I understand.
The personal situation I have with her, her neighbor raped a 6-year-old girl, and she didn't even bother to come to the community watch meeting because we wanted to have a meeting to keep an eye on this situation, this man out here in Flossmoor who raped this girl, and the judge gave him bail. How do you get bail raping a 6-year-old?
You can't get bail for raping a 6-year-old. Only thing they deny you bail of is like maybe a murder or homicide or something. They can deny you no bail, but certain crimes you can get a bail. This is before Kim Fox.
And so that's where we got to change the law. You rape a 6-year-old child and they got DNA evidence.
Well, let me just say that not only a 6-year-old child, you rape anybody, not just a 6-year-old, anybody, whether that male or female.
Oh, absolutely.
So we now what we do have in the state of Illinois, we have no statute of limitations for rape. So if you get raped here,
okay, that's good.
Yeah, we do have that here. So we have to be aware of these laws. And listen, I had an officer tell me, I would never mention his name. He said, y'all stand in front of the police station, shouting F police and all that. We only enforce what the politicians tell us to do. You know, with the law. They pass the laws. So you would have to go to the source, to the politicians. If we want things changed, sister, we have to go to the politicians. And we cannot take it personal.
And I told you that's one of the things I'm trying to do is work with the legislators and get somebody. I mean, here's one of the laws that we need to get passed. First of all, you know, I don't know how many parents are listening that even realize this. But Martin, do you know a 12-year-old girl can walk into Planned Parenthood and get birth control pills and IUD vaginal devices put in her vagina and do not need an adult permission? That needs to change. That is a child.
That, you know what, like you said,
and nobody said nothing about it.
Nobody. And you know what? And you're right. That's why we need watchdogs. Use the term, but we need watchdogs to bring up points like this. That's a necessary point. Now, you want to holler statutory rape where an older man having sex with a younger woman, but then you want to tell us as adults or parents, as guardians, that our child can make a decision without us?
Yeah.
You know,
as long as she's a menstruating female and 12 and over, she can walk into any Planned Parenthood and get birth control. And some of this stuff, some of these devices and products that they have, in rare cases, can cause serious side effects and even death.
That's how it is.
I called Planned Parenthood, and I asked them, they said, well, we give the young ladies the pamphlets. Do you understand how a 12-year-old does not have the mentality to even understand what they're reading on the pamphlet? How many of them really read that well in the first place?
Yeah.
Go ahead, my brother from Oklahoma.
The reason I know this because when I was 14, I went and got some birth control pills because I was out there messing with grown-ass men, too. See, I'm going to throw myself out there, too. I'm not going to be no hypocrite. I know what I was doing. And a lot of these people out here, they've been doing it. And let me say this. All of that goes back to slavery. You had these grown slave masters. Why do you think so many African-American people come from a generation of the strap, of the whip, of the belt, of the extension cord? Where do you think that comes from? Masters whooping on African people who were brought here in slavery, and that whole culture was passed down from generation to generation. So now instead of you getting whooped by massa, you being with a whip, you're being whooped with an extension cord. You're being whooped with a belt buckle. You're being whooped with cords and plugs and all this kind of stuff. And then when you have these slave masters who was having sex and raping their young the slaves, look, African people only go do what they see Master do. Master taught you how to call yourself a nigga. Every 5 seconds is nigga this and nigga that and nigga this, and they think it's okay. Well, we took the word and we turned it into something else, you sound like a fool. Then you get mad if a white person say it. They created it.
Yeah. You speaking truth now, sister. You speaking truth.
Can't argue.
No, but see, nobody wants to talk about that.
Yeah.
You get to talking about that kind of deafness,
Yeah.
then, people want to run from that. So now you got, this has been going on since we know since the 20s. 25, 30-year-old men having sex with 14, 15-year-old girls. They was marrying them back then.
Mm-hmm.
It was in color.
They don't do that no more. Robert Kelly, he married Aaliyah. I'm not saying what he did was right, but why aren't the parents being charged? All these parents out here that put them off on Robert like that. See, I went to high school, the same high school as him. And I was upset with him because now I can't even talk to my music teacher no more, Lena McLean, because of all this mess. I used to be able to call her and have a conversation with her. Ever since this mess happened with Robert, the family they just took her away, won't let her talk to nobody now.
Mm.
Yeah, I think
where's
the parents too.
These parents was pimping their kids out to Robert.
Yep.
That's and they all need to be charged, because if you pimping your kids out to a grown man trying to get a record deal, your ass needs to be charged with pimping your children.
Yeah. Hold on, y'all. Let me try to take one more. Hold on. Hey, hold on, sister, okay?
Yes.
All right, I got one more guest. Let me hear what she got to say. Come on, guest. Hold on, guest. Let me turn it up so we can hear. Go ahead, guest. Come on, talk to us. Hello?
Yes?
Go ahead, talk. I want you to talk. I want you to say something, guest. You just called.
Hi, Martin. This is Cynthia.
Hey, Cynthia, how you doing?
I am awesome. First of all, thank you for having this topic. Thank you for sharing my people calling me crazy. And
all right, put your mouth on the phone now, okay, because you're fading in and out. Go ahead. All right.
I said, first of all, thank you for having this topic. It needs to be addressed. And thank you for sharing my post today for the free camp. I've been having people calling left or right. And so in regards to what you guys are talking about, it starts at home. We can point the finger at any and everybody, but it starts at home. So many parents, I deal with kids on a regular, and I hear the kids talking about how they smoke with their parents and how they drink with their parents. And so typically it's a generational curse. So that's why I'm extremely mindful of what I do around my kid, my son, and not just what I do around my son, but the other kids that come into my camp. Like all these kids that I got coming in now, whatever they done at home and however they raised at home, it totally changes when they come in my circle, because in my circle is discipline, trust, and love. And so without those three, it's hard to grasp the kid. So when they come in, I'm welcoming them open arms. I allow them to do what they're doing, and then I can pretty much dictate how I want to, navigate with the kid. But it definitely starts at home. We have to be parents to stop being our parents' friends, and also the company you keep will affect your child too. So for instance, I can't be out here trying to date a guy that got his pants hanging down and his head twisted and him smoking weed. My 15-year-old son is looking at everything I do contrary to what us parents think and believe. Like you said, I think earlier you said how these women think that they be sneaking these guys in the room, these kids be asleep. You're so right. These kids see everything. Sometimes I do some stuff, and and my son be like, yeah, Mom, I see you, and I be like, what? And so that's just confirmation of, you just got to be mindful of what you do around these kids, the company you keep around these kids, and also, Mark, other kids. Also, you have to watch the kids that your kids are around. Mm-hmm. Everybody's kid is raised different. Some of these kids, parents seeing their parents have sex in front of them and all different type of stuff. So, now you got these kids in school, acting out, acting crazy and being managed. And so, peer pressure is at an all-time high. So now you got all these kids doing any and everything under the sun, because guess what? They can see somebody else in their family, their uncle, their brother, or whoever doing it, and they think it's okay.
Let me say this. It's still on the subject, too. It just came to my spirit. Look, I sound like prophet now. Listen, I had someone to tell me a young lady, she told me, she's grown now. She said, Martin, my mom married a man, he had a daughter, and, you know, she had a daughter, and they both were sleeping in the same bed. But there was some sexual activity going on between the two. So I'm saying that to say this, parents, not only do you have to watch the boys, you have to watch the girls as well. Leave the door open where you can come by and watch and monitor. Trust me, these children are far advanced than you think they are. Trust me.
That's true.
They have the whole world at their hand with the internet, social media, World Wide Web, Google. Tell them anything they want to know, YouTube. So be mindful of that. You know, be mindful of that.
And they all want to talk stuff.
Those video games doing everything too. You
Oh,
see
yeah.
how sex on the games, and they selling drugs, they
Carjacking.
prostituting, they stealing cars, they shooting.
And listen, and another thing too, as parents, like the sister said, these video games, some parents disagree with me. Well, these video, that's because you guys playing them, and you know the video games are your babysitter. You know, you can get your son to be quiet. Here, I'm going to buy you this game if you be good. You know, going, Sarah, I got to tell the truth and shame the devil. And I'm not just talking about mothers, I'm talking about fathers as well. So I'm not on here woman bashing. So I don't want y'all to think that, because don't try to wiggle out of this conversation, because you know I'm telling the truth and shaming the devil. You know it. You know it. And like my sister Mother Diva said, y'all eating all this glucose food and flaming hots and hot sauce and all this stuff and the sugary flavored pops and all this bad eating. The diet is necessary too as well. Your diet, especially for the little ones.
It is. That's true, but if you don't have nowhere to stop, they can get something to eat somewhere, bread, station, whatever it costs.
Bad diet.
It's funny you said
That,
that,
no,
Martin.
that ain't no excuse, because they go to Save-A-Lot, all these, whatever they going with their food stamps, and they can get fresh fruits and vegetables over there. It may not be the best, but it's something.
It depends on
Well,
what
it all
area
depends on what office you go to, but
Right,
I
it
mean,
depends on what area you're in. Everybody don't have fruits and vegetables close by. Some people don't have cars.
So
You
you know
know-
what? It starts at home, Martin. In my group, in my program, we specifically buy water. We give the kids fruit, and we give the kids like granola bars. Anything outside of that, we ain't got it for them, because guess what? We have to plant the seed somewhere. So if y'all want Italian beef and chicken all day, you won't get it here. So we teach nutrition as well,
That's
and we
good.
do that purposely.
That's good. All these solutions that we throw out there, it helps people. It really helps. It really, I'm gonna ask any parent that's on here, when was the last time you told your son and your daughter you love them? When was the last time you told them that?
Yesterday.
When was
Yesterday. I tell
yeah.
them every day.
When was the last time
Seconds ago.
that y'all had dinner that your son or your daughter didn't bring the phone to the table, just start texting, not paying attention to you? As parents,
Yesterday.
That's all I
yeah,
can
as
say, man.
parents, I'm just saying as parents, even myself, my little 14-year-old, she'll jump in the car and don't say nothing, just be texting all day. And have the phone leaning where I can't see what she's saying. Right, typing. So people, go ahead.
So Martin, again, that starts at home, and so I go out to eat often, and I do it for exposure for my son, to let him know that there's other options besides these fast food restaurants that's in our neighborhood. Sometimes I'll go and spend $100 easily on me and him a dinner, and so for me it's quality time and it's exposure. So now he's seeing other different ethnicities, and he's seeing people dressed up in suits. And so guess what? If you're trying to see it, it'll grow. So I do all these things for my son to show him there's a bigger world outside of what you see. Because we live in a hood, don't mean we have to be of the hood. And so purposely, when we go, I'll take a picture of our food, because I'm photogenic. And then after that, my phone goes away, his phone goes away. And I'm asking him, how was your day? What you want to do? And now we got a whole conversation. That's quality time for him now, because, we really don't do the dinner table no more, because we out and about. And so for me, that's my moment with him to see what's going on. And also, I'm exposing him. It's exposure and it's a learning moment. And it's a form of expression.
At dinner table.
Talking about it.
Yeah, we got to go back to
That
the
dinner table was a wealth of information.
wealth and Mother
You
D.
know what else, Martin?
Go ahead, Marcus.
Yes.
Go ahead. Let me
These
you next.
parents, it don't cost nothing to take your kids downtown. It don't cost nothing. I know downtown is dangerous, but it's not all that dangerous. Me and you was at the State, and we seen Chicago know how to party. It don't cost nothing to take your child on a train ride. I know the train is bad.
Shoot, I ain't getting on that.
You know what I mean? What I'm saying is, take your children out. Don't always let them go hang out with their friends. Because I grew up in Inglewood, and I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth. And I would come home from school, and the next thing I know, my parents would grab me. We going downtown. We ain't got nothing. We can't buy you nothing, but we going downtown. We gonna act like we're rich.
I grew up in Roseland, but I
That's
definitely wouldn't take
family
my
time.
kids on no train ride, not today.
That's family time. Well, however way you get them downtown, take them downtown and let them see the better side of the city. Because all they seeing on the news is the negative side. All they seeing on social media is who got shot. Let them see what Chicago is really about.
Yes.
Mm.
This is a big, beautiful city, and you can have it. All you got to do is go down there and get it.
Mother Diva,
It's free.
tell us how your program, you had
I'm
something.
here.
Tell us how your program went there. I think you had it last Saturday or something. What was it? In Inglewood. You did something in Inglewood.
Well, basically, what happened was I had two cousins who had passed away a year apart. They were brothers. And my family had decided not to give them a funeral or memorial service. So I decided that I wanted to do a balloon release and memorialize them because I feel like anybody that passes away deserves to be memorialized. If Charles Manson can have a funeral, he was a serial killer. You know, I mean, anybody else should be able to have a memorial service. So what I did was I knew that Inglewood is a disenfranchised community, so I basically turned it into a pre-Independence Day give back. And so I basically got houseboy brought the speaker. I had some music. I had food out there. We gave away microwave. We gave away a vacuum. We gave away heaters. We just gave away clothes, shoes, household items, children items, and just fed the entire block. So it was a few people who came by who, needed some things. And that's what I'm about. You know, where I see a need, I'll go out there and just do it. I mean, that's what it takes. We can't be sitting around talking. We got to get out and have some action going. Right. And so what I was saying earlier when I first called in, it's easy for us to have these conversations, but how many of us are sitting down with our state senators and our state representatives and trying to put programs together to put in place? This is an election year. We just had an election. This is midterm election. And so we really need to start looking at the power of our vote. There are certain things that we want and need in the community, so we need to go to our community leaders that can make laws, change laws, and make a difference and say, hey, look, this is what we need in this community. If you want our vote, you're going to have to create a situation for us to get the resources and things that we need. I mean, isn't that why the light company was about to get arrested? Because the light company tried to get with the Illinois General Assembly to buy laws. Remember when Commonwealth Edison got in trouble with the feds?
No.
That whole situation with Mike Madigan and all of that mess? It was the same thing. They were trying to buy laws. You can't buy laws. You have to create the law, and you take it to the legislators for them to review it, and then it goes through the process of getting passed, if they're going to pass it. I wrote an emergency carjacking bill, penalty bill that I'm trying to get passed because the carjacking is going to go up during the summer. But if there's a legislation put in place that will have strong penalties and repercussions, then maybe it can slow down. But see, a lot of these politicians, they have an agenda. That's why we as the people, we vote them in. We can vote them out.
And that's true.
How many people actually vote for the judges? See, you will face a judge in your lifetime before you face a senator, a president, a mayor. These judges got power. Most of us don't even know who the judges are. We don't take the time to go research, and then you get mad if you go before the judge and you get mad because the judge messed up your case and didn't do something in your favor. Well, did you vote? Are you looking into the judges? I always vote for these judges. Some of these judges don't need to be on the bench, and some of them do.
Right.
While you out here playing video games and shoot 'em up, kill 'em up, and Grand Theft Auto, you should go Google the judges. Because once you go carjack and shoot up somebody, you're going to be facing that judge.
Yep.
That's true.
They don't want, see, Martin, they don't want me. Because I'm going to come with the real, and I'm going to get deep and pull that shit from the roots.
You know what? I've seen a lot of politicians with great passion, but it seems like when they get into office, they can't do nothing. They just get quiet. They get cooled off.
Because they get corrupted by that money. They get corrupted.
Money talks and BS walks.
Yeah. You have a handful of them that's doing what they supposed to do, like Walter Barnett. Alderman Barnett does what he say he gonna do. And I have a lot of respect for him because he told them marijuana people, he said, look, if you don't have an African-American partner, you ain't coming over here to my ward. And he was not playing with those people. That's another thing. You got all these dispensaries all around Chicago and Cook County. But where are the people of color that's supposed to be working there in part ownership? You always want to make money off of people of color, but then you don't want to partner with them.
You should be able to go to your alderman's office and get a job. You should be able to go in that alderman's office and get a city job.
And why we got 50 damn aldermen anyway? That's too many aldermen. Half of them don't do shit. They sit there and collect the check. We don't need 50 aldermen. They need to cut that in half.
Wow. All right, people. I need a couple of people to hang up so I can take some more callers. I got a few more minutes left.
All right.
Okay.
I'm gone.
Okay. All right.
Good night.
Good night. Hey, caller, where you calling from?
West Side.
Yeah, hold on. Go ahead, my brother. Go ahead, talk from the West Side. Go ahead, brother.
I'm still here, Martin. You need me
Okay.
to hang up?
No, you good. Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead, my brother from the West
You
Side.
need to take some more calls. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
Devontae.
Yeah, hey, I want to know how our sisters be always not getting on line or on radio telling the truth about 1968 and talking about a vote. We've been voting for 50-some years. Ever since y'all signed us over to the system. When your baby was born, you signed your baby up into a system that you ain't got no control over for a check. But you don't tell your baby that. You tell your baby that, oh, this is the system's fault. The system set me down. They say, you know what?
Brother.
Who signed you up at birth?
Brother,
Hold on, let me
No,
who
I got to
signed
take a
you up
call,
at birth?
brother. I'm not going to cut you off. I'm going to let you talk.
Okay.
Just take the call. All right, caller, where you calling from? Caller,
Hey, Martin.
where you calling from?
I'm calling from Indiana, Martin.
Okay, this is what I need you to do. Turn your Facebook down. I'm going to bring you in.
Okay.
All right. Hold on. I'll bring you in. Try to bring you in. Hold on. Hold on, guys. I'm trying to bring somebody. I got too many. Hold on. I'm trying to work this. Okay, y'all in the message, but y'all, hold on. Let me just tell this caller. Hold on. All right, caller.
Yes,
Listen.
sir.
Okay, I'm gonna let you talk real quick. Go ahead. But I'm not. Once you get through talking, you gotta hang up. Go ahead, my sister.
Okay. This all I want to say, Martin. I watch and I listen to you and I follow you. This is my thing. I'm saying this. I just want to understand. I keep saying the police, DCFS, to me, they all the same people.
Of course.
Growing up, I'm pretty much, we still the same man. I never even knew about DCFS because I had my own children. So where did the parents lack doing something? Before the police get to our kids, our parents already had us under control.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't have to see the police.
Right.
By the time the police got to us, we was quiet and shut up. So that's what I need us to get back to. When I was in school, the teacher pulled my ear, Martin, and I shut up. Because I knew when I got home, the teacher was going to tell my parent that she pulled my ear, and I was going to get another pulling. I mean, make it make sense. The respect level for parents and elders has been disappearing.
Okay.
That's what the problem is. Before the police dealt with us, our parents dealt with us. And I say this one more time before I let you go. I'm 50 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Before I knew it was a DCFS, I knew a parent, I knew a neighbor, I knew a teacher, I knew an outsider that could get me in line before I got to that last ass whooping that my mama gave me when I got home before the street lights came on. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, thank you so much, sister.
Have a great night.
All right. All right, I'm back, people. It wouldn't let me switch over. Well, go ahead, Devontae. Go ahead, my brother from the west side. Go ahead, my brother. Hello?
Yeah, Mark.
Go ahead. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, but they're going to have to start telling the truth about what happened in the past. The past is what got us stagnated in the future today. A lot of lies is being told. Our education even was stole with DuSable. They didn't teach us that a black man owned Chicago. They keep telling us that somebody else came on the slave ship and got all of us. And that's a lie. We live in a lie. We've been taught a lie since we was babies. And our mother signed us over into this to learn this when we was babies, when we was born. And when from the Butt Naked Truth show, I learned that because they set me down. They was like, you keep complaining. But you need to complain to the people that signed you over into this system. They didn't read the birth certificate. They didn't read the social security card. They didn't read nothing. It was all about money. Have a blessed day.
All right, brother. All right, y'all. Who else want to comment? I can take some more calls. Go ahead. Marcus? Mother Diva? All right, I can take another call. 872-297-6389. Hello, callers. All right, I can take another call. Leslie, I think you call. You can call back. It's live uncut. Come on, people. Come on, talk to me. I can take one more caller. If not, y'all already know what it is. Tell the truth and shame the devil. There we go. Yeah, I didn't hear anything, brother. Go ahead, brother.
Oh, this is Marcus again.
Okay, go ahead, Marcus. Go ahead.
Oh, basically, I just want to say this. It's a whole lot of solutions. They may not be the right solution, but it's solutions, and they're all in front of us. And it goes back to the parent. Parents need to watch what you're saying around your kids, watch what you're doing around your kids. Ain't nobody 100% perfect. You're going to make mistakes being a parent, but try not to make those detrimental mistakes that will have an impact on our society as a whole. Like we see what this young man did out in Highland Park.
Marcus, hold on. All right, caller, where you calling from?
West Side.
All right. Okay, Marcus. Hold on, guys. All right, hold on. All right, Marcus, go ahead. I got two people behind you. Go ahead, Marcus. Go ahead, Marcus.
Glen Park.
Go ahead.
Some point in time, his parents went wrong, and that goes beyond the racial barrier. Evil is evil. It doesn't have a color.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't guide your child in the right way, they will fall off the cliff. A lot of people say whipping came from slavery. I'm glad I got my butt whooped because I'd probably be dead if I didn't. Now, taking a branch off a tree, beating your child, that's abuse. A extension cord, that's abuse. And when parents whoop their children and don't tell them why they're being whooped, that's mental abuse as well as physical abuse. You don't just beat your child because he broke a glass accidentally. You whoop them when they're doing something very bad, and you tell them why, and you tell them you did it out of love.
Okay.
And you ain't got to beat them for everything.
All right. Hold that thought, Marcus. West Side Caller, go ahead. West Side Caller, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead, brother.
Can you hear me?
I hear you, loud and clear.
Man, I'm from the West Side, man. Man, they do all kind of stuff, man. All this kind of stuff, man.
Bro, what you talking about? Tell us. I mean, what are you talking about?
On the West Side, they acting crazy, man.
Who acting crazy, brother?
The West Side people.
Oh, okay. All right. All right, that's it, brother? All right, Lassie, go ahead.
Okay, Mark. Hey, Mark.
Stop.
I'm sorry for that. Oh, God. Oh, man. So I seen the video, and it hurt my heart.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say this. By me being a grandmother of 3, I have accepted that I may be the only God they see. So by me knowing that and accepting that, I'm going to make sure every time they're around grandma, every time they're in my presence, they're going to see God. And I'm going to represent that. So because in this situation, my 2 oldest grandchildren, mothers are off the chain. And you know that my son has passed away. So I'm the only thing that's here of God. So they can see God and know, the right thing to do and how to walk in God. So when it comes from, because their mother is not doing right and her mother is not doing right, that it doesn't mean that the children, don't have any hope, to do good in their life. So I just wanted to let everybody know on the platform that us as grandparents, like you a grandparent, we have, sometimes that's the only God they see, and they will see. So, I mean, the children do have hope. We just got to, just stand up and just say, okay, we got to step in and say, okay, this is, we may be the only God they see, so we got to make sure we just play that role, and just, lift up the babies. That video just hurt my heart. And I'm gonna tell you one thing.
Okay.
My oldest.
I need you to hold on, Leslie. I need you to hold on.
Okay.
Hello, caller. Where you calling from?
I'm calling from Detroit, Michigan.
Okay, I think I got one more person in front of you, but hold on. All right, Miss Leslie, you can continue to talk.
Hello, I can talk now.
Yes, you good.
Okay. So one thing that burned me up. I mean, it just burned me up inside. But I had to, just go to God and just pray, like, Lord, just keep me in the position of the grandmother, and just, because I had seen my oldest grandson. He took a picture and he had his hat banged to the left or the right. That just burned me up. The mothers are dressing them up like you just was talking about that. They got their little hat banged, and I didn't like that. So I'm going to play my role throughout my grandchildren's life to be the grandmother, the godly grandmother that know God so they can know him. And then, of course, as they get older, just because I have a relationship with God doesn't mean they will have one. So I got to let them know. Just because grandma got one, you have to get your own relationship with him. You know, they can't live their life by my grandmother having a relationship with God. They have to have one. So I'm going to make sure I install that in them to know God for themselves.
Okay. All right.
You know, so I just wanted to put that out there. Us as grandparents, we got to do the thing. We got to play the role because we are, and we may be the only God that they see.
Okay.
Because these young people ain't really doing what they supposed to do.
Okay. All right. Let me hear from this other caller. All right, caller. New caller. Female.
You talking about me?
Yes, ma'am.
How you doing?
I'm doing.
Oh, okay, I want to start off by saying I think I done lost a friend today because she was explaining to me that her 13-year-old daughter smoked weed.
Mm.
So she's going to go get the weed for her 13-year-old because she's going to do it anyway. And she don't want her getting no drugs off the street and fentanyl in it. So what I told her, I say, so what if your daughter come to you and say, I'm ready to sleep with my boyfriend? You going to let her sleep with her boyfriend in the house? She couldn't answer that question. And it's getting out of hand with these kids, you know, thinking they can do whatever they please to do. Now, I can't say, I did laugh at that video about that little boy.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know the grown-ups wish they could say that to them police officers. The little boy had the voice for them. But they should have not had that little boy out there cussing like they should have snatched his little ass up and took him back in the house.
Well, let me just say that I don't fault the children. I fault the parents.
Yeah, you're right about that.
So I don't hold, when I seen that, all I seen was an innocent child. That's all I seen. He's only mimicking what he's seen adults
What
do.
he sees, yeah.
That's it.
What he sees, that's what he gonna do.
You know, so that, I mean,
Martin,
you can't, yeah.
Isn't that a form of child neglect? And shouldn't the Department of Children and Family Services be involved? I mean, maybe I'm wrong for saying it, but
No, I mean,
that do make a lot of sense.
I don't think so for that. I mean, it happens, man. I mean, it's freedom of speech. You know, parents, I mean, children, that's who they're exposed to. If they're born, they can't choose their parents. So if you got a parent that's unruly, gang banging, streets, that's all they're gonna know. They're gonna think they think this is what's right, acceptable. That's their world. That's that young boy world. That little 5, 6-year-old, 4-year-old boy, that's his world. Anger. Going at the police.
Just like
You go ahead.
Just like when my grandkids come here, especially my great-grandson, he's 4. He don't know nothing about saying no prayer. I make him say his prayer at night. He don't know nothing about this with his mama because she's out in the street.
You gotta go ahead, Grandma.
Yeah, I keep them, I try to keep them close and try to guide them right. I try to get them whatever I can get them because I only got one son and he got 11 kids. So whatever I get, it's going to fall down on other kids. So I don't think I'm wasting my money by spoiling them, by getting them, you know, stuff that's going to keep them over my house. Like in the summertime, they ain't running up and down the street like they doing at home.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And keep on doing that. Keep on pressing because, girl, I got 3, and my son is with the Lord, you know, and I gotta make it my business to make sure that all 3 of my grandchildren know God.
Leslie,
That's my job.
Leslie, hold on for a second. Somebody said they, you know, people, I don't know how they interpret stuff, but when I said freedom of speech, I was talking about adults when he referred them for DCFS. Adults can cuss. It's freedom of speech. You can curse the police out. It's freedom of speech. Wasn't talking about the children. Wasn't talking about
This
children.
what I don't
The children is
understand.
innocent. So I mean, let's
I
get.
don't
I mean,
understand.
I got to get because folks they're not processing. They're not processing things right. We want to.
They don't
set
know
the
what
record.
they're doing.
Yeah, they don't know what they're doing.
They really don't.
I said it earlier. Those children that did that cussing and all that, they are innocent. They are innocent. They're not aware. They are innocent. They cannot comprehend the magnitude of what they're doing or what they're saying.
They
They're
only
innocent.
repeating what
That's
repeating
it.
what they hear.
And y'all keep calling them bad and I'll smack. You can't. Certain things you just can't do. You have to listen.
Yeah.
We had a motto.
Anybody you want to smack the parents.
Yeah.
Not the kids.
Now this is one thing I don't understand that I've been seeing online a lot. When CPS come to people's houses, they tell them right off when they pull their phones out that they can't record their conversation. Isn't that against the law?
They can't tell me listen, if they came to my house, I'm going to record. You're not, listen, you can record. If they don't want to talk,
I know I would.
Yeah, because
if you don't want me to record, you can leave out my house.
Immediately, ASAP. When you go in Walgreens, they recording. When you go in these gas stations, they recording. These grocery stores, they recording.
They recording it on everything.
The trains, the L's, all that is being recorded.
Exactly. But a lot of black folks, they go for it. They okay, y'all, I got to get offline. They told me I can't record. I'm like, what?
Okay, that's. Well, you know what, people? That's some of the greatest technology that they ever came up with to record. Don't you know? If it wasn't for the cell phone, the camera, cell phone, man, a lot of people would be in jail. A lot of cases wouldn't get solved and things like that. I'm trusting. Listen, all that. The police, the judge is going to take the police word. The first thing they say, why would the police lie on you? But let me just say this, people. We have to stop relying on people that view us as the enemy to serve and protect us. I'm telling you, I'm going to say it again. I always say that. The people that's serving and protecting us was supposed to be. If they view us as being their enemy, they're not going to do it to the fullest. They're not going to do it. They don't have no respect for our community at all. For us, no longer.
They have a limit. They limit themselves on what they're going to do for us. Because if it's me and two other people that's not my color, and I know they was in the wrong, and they tell them that I was in the wrong, they putting the cuffs on me.
Yeah.
And that's not right.
All right. But ladies and gents, I've had enough. I got to get out of here. I'm tired. I ate my dinner while I was talking to y'all. So I appreciate every last one of y'all conversations.
You already know what it is.
I got to get out of here.
Live.
Because I definitely got to get up in the morning. I appreciate you, Leslie, Marcus, and my last caller. I appreciate you guys for tuning in, all your comments as always. Again, Gilda, I understand. Gilda Simone, I understand. Thank you. You guys feel welcome to share the video, comment. As I always say, you don't have to agree with me because I don't have all the answers. I'm looking for solutions just like you guys. I'm looking for solutions. I don't know everything. I'm still learning. I'm still here on earth, so I'm going to be learning till the day I die. And hopefully that's not too soon. We have to start somewhere. Solutions. Thank you, guys. I'm going to hang up. Thank you. All right.
You already know what it is. Live, uncut, unedited.